The bomb's red display showed 43 seconds when human operative Jake Morrison slid his paperclip into the alien device's primary circuit. Queen Zyralith of the Zerithian Empire pressed herself against the command chamber's reinforced wall, her forearms trembling as sparks erupted from the weapon that could vaporize her flagship. "Your Majesty, the human refuses proper tools," Admiral Corthex hissed through his translator, his scaled hide glistening with nervous moisture. "The bomb specialists estimate 6 minutes to arrive with appropriate equipment. 38 seconds. Jake's weathered fingers moved with surgical precision, his paperclip bent into a complex configuration that seemed impossible for such crude metal. The device before him hummed with Zerithian quantum technology, its crystalline core pulsing malevolent orange light that painted his scarred face in hellish hues. "Fascinating," Queen Zyralith whispered, her golden eyes fixed on the human's methodical movements. She had witnessed countless species attempt to understand Zerithian engineering. All had failed catastrophically. 29 seconds. The paperclip slipped deeper into the bomb's neural pathways. Jake's breathing remained steady, each exhale measured and controlled. Sweat beaded on his forehead, but his hands never wavered. The Queen watched muscles in his jaw tighten as he felt for something invisible within the device's mechanical heart. Human Admiral Cortex's voice cracked with desperation. "Explain your methodology. Our technicians must understand. Quiet." Jake's word cut through the chamber like a blade. His paperclip found purchase on something deep within the bomb's core. A soft click echoed through the silence. 18 seconds. Queen Zyralith stepped closer, defying her guard's protective gestures. The human's technique defied every principle of advanced engineering. No computer calculations, no quantum analyzers, no molecular scanners, just primitive metal and intuition. The bomb's display flickered. 12 seconds. Jake twisted his improvised tool with microscopic precision. The Queen could see intelligence burning in his eyes, not the cold logic of artificial consciousness, but something warmer and infinitely more dangerous. Understanding born from desperation and refined through countless battles. 8 seconds. "Your Majesty, we should evacuate," Admiral Corthex began. The human's paperclip emerged from the device with a final decisive motion. The red numbers froze at 0:04, then dissolved into harmless green light. The quantum core's malevolent pulse faded to gentle amber. Silence stretched across the command chamber like a held breath. Jake straightened slowly, his makeshift tool still warm from the bomb's energy fields. "It's safe now, Your Majesty." Queen Zyralith stared at the neutralized weapon, then at the human who had accomplished the impossible. Her royal education had covered 17,000 species across the known galaxy. None possessed this strange combination of primitive tools and advanced problem-solving. "Explain," she commanded softly. Jake wiped sweat from his brow. "Your bomb's designed to prevent tampering. Complex fail-safes, quantum encryption, molecular locks. But the core mechanism still needs basic electrical pathways. Simple metal conducts current better than your crystalline circuits expect." The Queen's translator struggled with human technical terms, but his meaning emerged clearly. While her people had advanced beyond simple metals, they had forgotten their fundamental properties. This human had turned technological superiority against itself. "The paperclip bypassed our quantum security?" Admiral Corthex's voice held disbelief. "Security designed to stop advanced technology," Jake confirmed. "Basic conductivity doesn't register as a threat to your sensors. Your bomb couldn't defend against something too primitive for its programming to recognize." Queen Zyralith approached the disabled weapon, her royal robes rustling against the chamber's metallic floor. The device that could have destroyed her flagship now sat harmless, conquered by crude human ingenuity. "You risked your life for our ship," she observed, studying Jake's calm expression. "Why?" Jake met her golden gaze without flinching. "Innocent people aboard, children in your civilian quarters. Some things matter more than politics." The Queen's forearms moved in complex patterns, a gesture of profound respect in Zerithian culture. Her royal guard recognized the significance immediately, their weapons lowering as they witnessed history. "Human Jake Morrison," Queen Zyralith's voice carried formal weight that filled the chamber. "You have demonstrated wisdom beyond your species' reputation. Your actions have saved 17,000 souls aboard this vessel." Jake remained silent, waiting. "Our intelligence reports claimed humans were primitive, aggressive, unpredictable," the Queen continued. "You have proven those assessments incomplete. Your mind operates on levels our strategist failed to anticipate." Admiral Corthex shifted nervously, recognizing the ceremonial tone entering his Queen's words. "I find myself curious about human capabilities," Queen Zyralith said, her voice carrying subtle undertones that made her guards exchange meaningful glances. Perhaps our species have more to learn from each other than our diplomats assumed. Jake's expression remained carefully neutral, but something in his eyes suggested he understood the implications behind her words. The bomb's deactivation had created unexpected possibilities between two very different worlds. The Queen stepped closer, her golden eyes reflecting newfound respect for the human who had turned primitive technology into salvation. In the space where mutual destruction had threatened moments before, something entirely unexpected was beginning to grow. The command chamber's emergency lighting faded to normal illumination, but the tension in the air had transformed into something altogether different. Queen Zyrolith found herself studying Jake Morrison with interest that transcended diplomatic necessity, while the human who had saved her ship watched her with equal fascination. Neither spoke, but both understood that this moment had changed everything between their species forever. Admiral Corthex's emergency communicator crackled to life, shattering the charged silence. "Your Majesty, incoming transmission from the Terran Diplomatic Corps. They're demanding immediate return of their operative." Jake's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Queen Zyrolith noticed the subtle shift in his posture, the way his shoulders straightened and his breathing changed from relief to resignation. "Tell them," the Queen said slowly, her golden eyes never leaving Jake's face, "that their operative is currently engaged in critical cultural exchange protocols. Further communication will be delayed pending completion of diplomatic procedures." The Admiral's scaled features contorted with confusion. No such protocols existed in Zerithian law. "Your Majesty," Jake said carefully, "I appreciate the protection, but Earth Command expects my return within the standard extraction window. My mission here was specifically limited to explosive ordnance disposal." Queen Zyrolith's forearms moved in contemplative patterns. "Your mission parameters have evolved, human Morrison. The bomb's deactivation has created unprecedented opportunities for scientific and cultural collaboration between our species." Through the command chamber's viewport, Jake could see the vast expanse of Zerithian space surrounding them. Massive crystal formations floated like frozen lightning between stars, their surfaces reflecting energy patterns that human scientists had only theorized about. "I've read the reports," he admitted. "Your people's understanding of quantum mechanics is centuries beyond anything we've achieved. The energy matrices alone could revolutionize human technology. Yet you solved our most advanced security system with primitive metal," the Queen observed. "Perhaps advancement requires balance between complexity and simplicity." Jake approached the viewport, studying the crystalline structures with professional interest. "Those formations, they're not natural, are they?" Queen Zyrolith joined him, her royal presence somehow less intimidating in the soft starlight. "Constructed over millennia. Each crystal contains enough energy to power your Earth for several rotations." "Incredible." Jake's voice carried genuine wonder. "The engineering principles involved must be staggering." "Our children learn basic quantum manipulation before they reach maturity," the Queen explained. "Yet none could have approached your bomb as you did. Your mind operates through different pathways entirely." Admiral Corthex cleared his throat diplomatically. "Your Majesty, the Council of Nobles awaits your report on human capabilities. The incident with the sabotage device will require detailed analysis." Jake turned from the viewport. "Sabotage? I assumed mechanical failure." Queen Zyrolith's expression darkened. 3 devices were planted throughout our flagship during diplomatic negotiations with the Hegemony Coalition. You neutralized the primary threat, but this attack was carefully planned. "The other bombs?" "Destroyed using conventional methods after your success provided insight into their construction," the Admiral reported. "However, the political implications are severe. Someone wanted to eliminate both human and Zerithian leadership simultaneously. Jake processed this information with growing concern. A false flag operation. Make it look like either Earth or Zerithi was responsible for destroying the other side's leadership." "Precisely," Queen Zyrolith confirmed. "Your actions prevented interspecies war, human Morrison. The debt between our peoples runs deeper than simple gratitude." The command chamber's main display activated, showing tactical readouts of local space. Multiple ship signatures appeared at the edge of sensor range, their configurations unfamiliar to Jake, but clearly recognizable to the Zerithian crew. "Hegemony Coalition vessels," Admiral Corthex announced grimly. 12 heavy cruisers approaching from multiple vectors. They appear to be scanning for wreckage. Jake studied the tactical display with trained military eyes. The incoming ships were positioning themselves to either rescue survivors or eliminate witnesses, depending on the bomb plot's success. "They're going to be disappointed," he observed. Queen Zyrolith's golden eyes glittered with something that might have been amusement. "Indeed." Admiral Corthex, "prepare evasive maneuvers. I believe our guests will be most displeased to find their operation unsuccessful. The flagship's engines hummed to life, their crystalline power cores generating energy signatures that dwarfed anything in Earth's arsenal. Jake felt the subtle shift in artificial gravity as the massive vessel began moving. "Your Majesty," he said carefully, "if those ships were expecting to find debris, they're going to start asking questions when they discover we're very much alive." "Let them question," the Queen replied. "Our alliance has already prevented their scheme from succeeding. Perhaps it's time to make that alliance official." Jake met her steady gaze, understanding the implication behind her words. The bomb's neutralization had created more than just temporary cooperation. It had forged the foundation for something unprecedented between their species. Admiral Corthex received another communication burst. "Your Majesty, the Coalition ships are demanding immediate surrender and inspection. They claim authority under Galactic Hegemony anti-terrorism protocols." "Interesting," Queen Zeralith mused. "They invoke anti-terrorism laws to investigate the very terrorist attack they orchestrated." Jake watched the tactical display update as the enemy vessels moved into attack formation. "How long until they're in weapons range?" 17 minutes at current approach speed," the Admiral answered. Queen Zeralith turned to face Jake fully, her royal bearing unmistakable even in the face of approaching danger. "Human Morrison, your species stands at a crossroads. Your people can continue navigating galactic politics alone, facing threats like this without allies, or you can join with those who understand your true capabilities." The weight of her words settled over the command chamber like gravity. Jake realized that his decision in the next few minutes wouldn't just affect his own fate, but could determine humanity's place in the broader galaxy. The approaching Coalition ships grew larger on the display, their weapon systems charging for battle. Jake Morrison stood in the center of the Zerithian flagship's command chamber, watching enemy vessels approach with calculated precision. The Queen's offer hung in the air like suspended lightning, waiting for his response. "Your Majesty," he said slowly, "speaking for myself, I'd be honored to work with your people. But I can't speak for Earth Command or the Terran government. I'm just one operative." Queen Zeralith's forearms moved in patterns that Jake was beginning to recognize as thoughtful consideration. "Perhaps that is precisely why you are the right person to speak for your species. You saved our lives without political calculation. Your actions demonstrated human character more clearly than any diplomatic protocol." The tactical display showed Coalition ships spreading into a wide offensive pattern, their weapons systems fully charged. Admiral Corthex monitored their communications with growing concern. "They're transmitting on emergency frequencies," he reported, "claiming the Zerithian flagship has been compromised by hostile forces and must be destroyed to prevent wider contamination." Jake laughed grimly. "They're really committed to this false flag narrative. When the bombs failed, they shifted to direct military action." Indeed, Queen Zeralith agreed, but they underestimated human ingenuity and Zerithian resolve. "Admiral, activate the quantum displacement field." The flagship's hull began glowing with soft blue energy as exotic matter fields warped space around them. Jake felt reality shift subtly as the ship's defensive systems engaged. "Impressive," he observed. "Space-time manipulation on this scale should be impossible according to human physics." "Your physics are incomplete," the Queen replied, though her tone carried respect rather than condescension. "But your practical engineering surpasses our theoretical models. You solve problems we cannot even properly define." The lead Coalition vessel fired warning shots across their bow. Crimson energy beams passed harmlessly through the displacement field, their destructive force scattered across multiple dimensional layers. Admiral Corthex smiled for the first time since the crisis began. "They appear confused by our defensive capabilities, Your Majesty." "As intended," Queen Zeralith replied. Jake observed their tactical response. This will illustrate the difference between Zerithian technology and human adaptability. Jake studied the enemy formation as it adjusted to account for the displacement field. The Coalition ships moved with textbook precision, following standard siege protocols that assumed predictable defensive measures. "They're thinking like machines," he realized, "programmed responses to known threats, but they've never encountered Zerithian quantum displacement before." "Correct. They will adapt eventually, but slowly and predictably." The Queen moved closer to Jake, her presence commanding yet somehow intimate. Human military doctrine, however, emphasizes improvisation and rapid adaptation. Your species excels at turning disadvantages into victories. The Coalition ships began coordinating a synchronized bombardment pattern designed to overwhelm the displacement field through sheer volume of fire. Jake watched their positioning with professional interest. "They're making a mistake," he observed. "Concentrating all their firepower from predictable vectors. If you could somehow redirect their energy, Queen Zyralith's golden eyes lit up with understanding. Admiral, prepare quantum reflection matrix. Target coordinates as follows. She rattled off precise spatial coordinates that placed reflection points directly between the incoming ships. Your Majesty, that configuration is theoretically possible, but has never been tested in combat conditions, Admiral Corthex warned. Today we test many theories, the Queen replied. Human Morrison, your tactical assessment proved accurate within 30 seconds of observation. I begin to understand why your species survives despite technological limitations. The reflection matrix engaged just as the Coalition bombardment reached maximum intensity. Brilliant energy beams struck quantum mirrors that redirected their destructive force back along precisely calculated vectors. The attacking ships found themselves engulfed in their own weapons fire. Explosions blossomed across the enemy formation as ships were struck by their own redirected energy. Half the Coalition force was disabled within seconds, their hulls cracked and systems failing from weapons designed to destroy Zerithian technology. Magnificent, Jake breathed, watching the elegant defensive solution eliminate a superior enemy force. You turned their strength against them completely. We, Queen Zyralith, corrected gently. Your tactical insight identified their vulnerability. Our technology provided the means to exploit it. Together, we achieved victory that neither could have won alone. The remaining Coalition ships retreated beyond weapons range, their commanders apparently unwilling to face further technological surprises. Admiral Corthex monitored their emergency transmissions with satisfaction. They're reporting system failures and requesting immediate evacuation support, he announced. It appears they no longer consider this mission viable. Jake watched the defeated enemy vessels limping away from the battlefield. They'll be back eventually, with better intelligence and adaptive strategies. Undoubtedly, Queen Zyralith agreed. Which raises an important question about the future relationship between our species. This attack was specifically designed to prevent human-Zerithian cooperation. Someone fears what we might accomplish together. The implications of her words struck Jake like physical force. The bomb plot hadn't been random terrorism. It was a surgical strike against potential alliance between two species whose combined capabilities could reshape galactic power dynamics. Earth needs to know about this, he said. The Coalition isn't just another political faction. They're actively working to keep human and Zerithian technologies separate. Indeed. But simply transmitting intelligence reports will not suffice. Your people must understand the benefits of cooperation, not merely the threats of isolation. Queen Exralith moved to the command chamber's central display, activating a holographic projection that showed the local galactic region. Hundreds of star systems appeared in three-dimensional detail, color-coded to indicate political affiliations and technological development levels. Observe, she said, highlighting specific regions. Species that achieved interstellar capability independently. Each developed unique advantages but also critical weaknesses. The Hegemony Coalition seeks to exploit those weaknesses by preventing technological sharing between species. Jake studied the political map with growing understanding. Divide and conquer on a galactic scale. Keep everyone isolated so no one becomes powerful enough to challenge Coalition authority. Precisely. But human ingenuity combined with Zerithian technology could create capabilities beyond anything the Coalition can counter. The Queen's words carried weight that extended far beyond military applications. Jake began to see the broader picture, not just defense against immediate threats, but the foundation for humanity's future among the stars. Admiral Corthex approached with formal bearing. Your Majesty, we have successfully withdrawn to secure space. Long-range sensors show no pursuit. However, diplomatic communications are requesting immediate conference with both Zerithian and human leadership. Queen Zyralith deactivated the holographic display and turned to face Jake directly. Her golden eyes held depths that seemed to reflect starlight itself. The moment approaches for historic decisions, Human Morrison? Will your people stand alone against galactic forces that seek to contain them, or will they join with allies who understand their true potential? The command chamber grew quiet except for the subtle hum of crystal-powered systems. Jake realized that his next words could determine not just his own fate, but humanity's place in a universe far more complex and dangerous than Earth had ever imagined. In the silence, Queen Zyralith waited for an answer that would echo across the stars. Jake Morrison faced Queen Zyralith in the crystalline command chamber, feeling the weight of species destiny pressing down like atmospheric pressure. Beyond the viewport, stars wheeled slowly as the flagship maintained its position in deep space, safe from Coalition pursuit but still vulnerable to the larger forces reshaping galactic civilization. "Your Majesty," he began carefully, "what exactly are you proposing? Military alliance? Technology sharing? Economic partnership?" Queen Zerolith's forearms moved in complex patterns that Jake was learning to interpret as deep consideration. All of those elements would be included, but I envision something more fundamental. A joining of capabilities that creates entirely new possibilities. Admiral Korthax activated a secure communication array. "Your Majesty, incoming transmission from Earth Command. Priority Alpha classification." Jake's expression tightened. Priority Alpha meant direct orders from the highest levels of human government. "I need to take that call, Your Majesty. My superiors will want a full report on the Bond incident and current tactical situation." "Of course." "Admiral, establish secure link with human command structure." The main display shifted to show the weathered face of Admiral Sarah Chen, Jake's commanding officer and one of Earth's most respected military strategists. Her dark eyes took in the Zerithian command chamber with professional assessment. "Morrison, report status. Our sensors detected weapons fire in your sector, and Coalition propaganda channels are claiming terrorist activities." "Admiral, the situation is more complex than initial intelligence suggested," Jake replied formally. "Sabotage devices were planted aboard the Zerithian flagship during diplomatic negotiations. The attack was designed to eliminate both human and Zerithian leadership simultaneously." Admiral Chen's expression darkened. "False flag operation?" "Confirmed. Coalition ships arrived expecting to find wreckage and were surprised to discover survivors. I believe someone wants to prevent human Zerithian cooperation." Queen Zyrolith stepped into the communication field's range. "Admiral Chen, I am Queen Zyrolith of the Zerithian Empire. Your operative displayed exceptional courage and ingenuity in preventing disaster. His actions saved 17,000 lives and exposed a conspiracy against both our peoples." Admiral Chen studied the alien queen with frank curiosity. "Your Majesty, Earth Command appreciates your words, but we need Morrison back for full debriefing. The political implications of this incident require careful analysis." "I understand your concerns," Queen Zyrolith replied diplomatically. "However, the threats revealed today extend far beyond a single terrorist attack. Your species faces coordinated opposition to its advancement into galactic civilization." Jake watched the exchange between military and royal authority, recognizing the delicate balance of competing interests. Both leaders were trying to protect their people while navigating unprecedented circumstances. Admiral Chen's voice carried careful neutrality. "What are you suggesting, Your Majesty?" "Permanent assignment of selected human personnel to work directly with Zerithian specialists. Joint development of defensive technologies. Coordinated response to Coalition manipulation of galactic politics." The proposal hung in the communication field like suspended lightning. Jake realized he was witnessing negotiations that could reshape humanity's future among the stars. "That's a significant commitment," Admiral Chen said slowly. "Earth would need to consider the ramifications carefully." "While you consider," Queen Zyrolith replied, "the Coalition will continue working to isolate your species from potential allies. Today's attack was merely the first direct action. They will escalate." Jake stepped forward. "Admiral, the Queen is right. What I've seen here suggests human and Zerithian capabilities complement each other in ways the Coalition fears. They tried to eliminate that possibility before it could develop." Admiral Chen's eyes focused sharply on Jake. "You're recommending acceptance of this alliance proposal, Morrison?" The question carried weight beyond military protocol. Jake understood that his answer would be weighed heavily in Earth's final decision. "Admiral, I've witnessed Zerithian technology that could revolutionize human civilization. Energy matrices, quantum manipulation, space-time engineering, but they were impressed by human problem-solving approaches that their advanced society has overlooked." Queen Zyrolith moved closer to the communication field. "Admiral Chen, your operatives solved our most sophisticated security system using primitive metal and intuitive analysis. Our quantum specialists cannot replicate his methodology because they think in purely technological terms." "Interesting," Admiral Chen mused. "Morrison, your assessment of Zerithian military capabilities?" Jake considered his words carefully. "Superior to anything in human arsenal, Admiral. But their tactical doctrine relies heavily on technological advantage. They adapt slowly to unexpected situations. Human military flexibility could significantly enhance their effectiveness." "And their assessment of human capabilities?" Queen Zerolith answered directly. Your species possesses ingenuity that transcends technological limitations. You solve problems through creative application of basic principles. Combined with our advanced materials and energy systems, such approaches could achieve unprecedented results. Admiral Chen was silent for long moments, her expression revealing the complex calculations taking place behind her eyes. Your Majesty, hypothetically speaking, what would such an alliance require from Earth? Initially, assignment of technical specialists to joint research facilities. Your people would work alongside ours to develop hybrid technologies. Military cooperation would follow as mutual trust develops. And from Zarithi, access to our educational systems, resource networks, and defensive technologies. Your people would gain centuries of accumulated scientific knowledge. Jake watched Admiral Chen process the extraordinary offer. He could see her military mind evaluating strategic advantages against potential risks. Morrison, Admiral Chen said finally, personal recommendation? Jake met his commander's eyes through the communication link. Admiral, this is the opportunity humanity has been waiting for. Access to advanced galactic civilization on equal terms, rather than as junior partners. Your reasoning? The Queen's people respect human capabilities, Admiral. They're not offering charity or conditional assistance. They want genuine partnership because they believe we bring unique value to the relationship. Queen Zyraleth's golden eyes reflected approval at Jake's words. Admiral Chen, your operative has demonstrated the qualities that make such partnership valuable. Courage, creativity, and practical wisdom that achieves results despite resource limitations. Admiral Chen's expression shifted subtly, revealing the moment when military caution gave way to strategic vision. Your Majesty, I cannot make binding commitments without full governmental approval, but I can recommend that Earth Command seriously consider your proposal. Understanding, Queen Zyraleth replied gracefully. However, time remains a critical factor. Coalition forces will regroup and adapt their strategies. Delay increases risk for both our species. Noted. Morrison, prepare for extended assignment pending final decision. Your continued presence with Zarithian forces will facilitate ongoing negotiations. Jake felt a surge of anticipation. Extended assignment meant opportunity to explore the possibilities that partnership could create. Understood, Admiral. I'll maintain regular communication and provide detailed reports on joint operations effectiveness. Admiral Chen's image began to fade as the communication link closed. Morrison, don't disappoint me. And Your Majesty, thank you for the opportunity to explore mutual cooperation. The display went dark, leaving Jake and Queen Zyraleth alone in the command chamber's crystalline environment. The weight of historic decisions seemed to settle around them like stellar dust. Your Admiral Chen is formidable, Queen Zyraleth observed. She evaluates quickly and decides based on strategic advantage, rather than fear. She's seen humanity survive against impossible odds, Jake replied. It takes that kind of experience to recognize genuine opportunity when it appears. Queen Zyraleth approached the viewport where stars gleamed like scattered diamonds across infinite space. Human Morrison, your presence here represents more than diplomatic protocol. You have proven that our species can work together effectively despite vast technological and cultural differences. Jake joined her at the viewport, studying the alien constellations that surrounded them. Your Majesty, what happens next? We demonstrate that human Zarithian cooperation produces results neither could achieve alone. When your leaders see concrete evidence of our combined capabilities, fear will give way to enthusiasm. The Queen's words carried certainty that Jake found reassuring. But he also sensed deeper currents beneath her formal tone, something personal developing alongside the political alliance. Your Majesty, he said carefully, may I ask why you're personally involved in these negotiations? Surely diplomatic specialists could handle the technical details. Queen Exrelith turned to face him, her golden eyes reflecting starlight and something indefinable. Because I witnessed something remarkable today, Human Morrison. You risked your life to save my people without hesitation or calculation. Such actions reveal character that cannot be measured through diplomatic protocols. The admission hung between them like gravity, drawing them into orbit around possibilities that extended beyond military alliance. Jake felt the subtle shift in atmosphere as professional cooperation began transforming into something far more personal and profound. In the crystalline command chamber of a Zarithian flagship, surrounded by technology that bordered on magic, Jake Morrison realized that his greatest discovery might not be alien science, but the unexpected connection forming between two very different souls united by shared danger and mutual respect. The stars wheeled slowly beyond the viewport as both human and queen contemplated a future that neither had imagined possible when the day began with terrorist bombs and enemy attacks. Queen Zyrlith's admission echoed through the command chamber like harmonics from the crystal power cores. Jake studied her expression, seeing vulnerability beneath royal composure that she rarely showed to anyone. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "I think I understand what you're saying." "Do you?" Queen Zyrlith moved closer, her forearms held in formal position but her golden eyes revealing depths that transcended diplomatic protocol. "Human Morrison, today's events have demonstrated that some connections form instantly under extreme circumstances." Jake felt the weight of her words and the implications behind them. The Queen of the Zerithian Empire was admitting personal interests that went far beyond political alliance. "I've felt it too," he acknowledged. "Working together against the bomb, coordinating tactical responses, watching you make decisions under pressure. There's something between us that I don't fully understand." Admiral Corthex cleared his throat diplomatically from across the command chamber. "Your Majesty, incoming priority transmission from the Royal Council. They request immediate conference regarding today's incident and its political ramifications." Queen Zyrlith's expression shifted back toward royal duty, but her eyes remained fixed on Jake. "Admiral, inform the Council that I will provide full briefing within the hour. Current situation requires completion before formal reporting." The dismissal was polite but absolute. Admiral Corthex bowed formally and withdrew to coordinate communications, leaving the Queen and Jake alone in the crystalline chamber. "Your council won't approve of personal involvement with a human," Jake observed quietly. "The council will approve of whatever serves Zerithian interests," Queen Zyrlith replied, with steel beneath silk. "And our interests have never been better served than by alliance with someone who understands both courage and wisdom." Jake approached the central command console, studying the alien technology that had seemed impossibly complex hours ago but now felt familiar. "Your Majesty, what exactly are you proposing?" "Something unprecedented in galactic history," she answered, moving to stand beside him. "Formal union between leaders of different species, creating bonds that transcend political convenience." The magnitude of her suggestion struck Jake like physical force. Royal marriage between human and alien would create diplomatic connections beyond anything previously imagined. "The political implications would be staggering," he said slowly. "Earth and Zerithi bound together through personal commitment as well as treaty obligations." "Indeed. No coalition manipulation could break bonds forged through genuine partnership. Our species would stand together against any threat." Jake turned to face her directly, seeing determination in her golden eyes that matched his own growing certainty. "Your Majesty, are you proposing marriage?" Queen Zyrlith's forearms moved in complex patterns that conveyed formal, ceremonial intent. "Human Jake Morrison, I am proposing that we bind our lives together as completely as our species must bind their futures. Alliance through choice rather than necessity." The command chamber's crystal formation seemed to pulse with sympathetic energy as Jake processed her extraordinary offer. Marriage to an alien queen would transform him from military operative to galactic diplomat, from human representative to bridge between worlds. "Your Majesty," he said carefully, "I need you to understand what you're offering. Marriage to a human would limit your options for traditional Zerithian political alliances. Your people might see it as betrayal of ancient customs. My people will see it as evolution toward greater possibilities." Queen Zyrlith replied firmly. "Jake, today you proved that humans and Zerithians achieve greatness together. Our union would demonstrate that truth to both species." Jake moved closer, drawn by the certainty in her voice and the growing conviction that this impossible situation felt more right than anything in his previous life. "And if I accept? Then we reshape galactic civilization through example rather than force. Other species would see that cooperation transcends biological differences. The coalition's divide-and-conquer strategies would crumble before unity they cannot break." The Queen's vision extended far beyond personal happiness to fundamental transformation of interstellar relations. Jake realized she was offering not just marriage, but partnership in changing the course of galactic history. "Your Majesty." "Zyrlith, yes." Queen Zyrlith's golden eyes blazed with triumph and joy as Jake's acceptance resonated through the command chamber. Her forearms moved in ceremonial patterns that Jake instinctively recognized as profound celebration. "Then it is decided," she declared, her voice carrying royal authority that would reshape two civilizations. "Admiral Corthex!" The Admiral materialized instantly, his scaled features revealing confusion at the Queen's obvious excitement. "Your Majesty? Prepare formal announcement to the Royal Council and Earth Command. Queen Zyrlith of Zerithian human Jake Morrison will enter into ceremonial union, binding our species through bonds that transcend political convenience. Admiral Corthex's expression shifted through confusion to shock to dawning understanding of the historical magnitude involved. Your Majesty, this decision will require unprecedented diplomatic protocols. No procedures exist for interspecies royal marriage. Then we create new procedures, Queen Zyrlith replied imperiously. History begins today, Admiral. Our union will demonstrate that the future belongs to those who embrace change rather than fear it. Jake watched the Admiral struggle to process orders that would fundamentally alter galactic political structures. Admiral, I understand this is unprecedented, but consider the strategic advantages of permanent alliance between human adaptability and Zerithian technology. The military benefits are obvious, Admiral Corthex admitted slowly. Coalition forces could never predict or counter hybrid tactics developed through such intimate cooperation. Your Majesty, when do you envision this ceremony taking place? Queen Zyrlith exchanged glances with Jake, something electric passing between them that confirmed their shared commitment. Immediately upon reaching Zerithian Prime, the Council will witness our union as accomplished fact rather than proposed possibility. The Admiral's diplomatic training took over as he began calculating the complex arrangements required. Your Majesty, such ceremony will require modification of ancient protocols to accommodate human participation. The traditional rituals assume Zerithian physiology. Adapt them, Queen Zyrlith commanded. Jake will participate as fully as biology permits, and new traditions will be established for elements that require modification. Jake felt the momentous weight of becoming the first human to participate in royal Zerithian ceremony. Your Majesty, what should I expect from the actual wedding? Ancient rituals involving energy bonding through our crystalline technology, she explained. Your nervous system will be temporarily interfaced with mine through quantum resonance. We will experience shared consciousness that creates permanent psychic connection. The description sounded like science fiction made real, but Jake had already seen enough Zerithian technology to accept possibilities beyond human understanding. Will it be dangerous for human physiology? Our medical specialists will ensure complete safety, Queen Zyrlith assured him. The bonding process adapts automatically to different nervous systems. You will emerge enhanced rather than harmed. Admiral Corthex activated his communication array. Your Majesty, shall I announce your engagement publicly or through restricted diplomatic channels? Publicly, Queen Zyrlith declared without hesitation. Let every species witness that the future belongs to cooperation rather than isolation. The Coalition's fear tactics lose power when beings choose unity over division. Jake watched the Admiral prepare messages that would echo across the galaxy within hours. News of human Zerithian royal marriage would force every government to reconsider their assumptions about interspecies relations. Your Majesty, he said quietly, are you certain this is the right choice? Once we take this step, there's no going back for either of us. Queen Zyrlith approached him with grace that made her alien nature seem beautiful rather than strange. Jake Morrison, certainty came when you risked your life to save my people. Everything since then has been recognition of what that moment revealed. Her words carried truth that resonated in Jake's core. The bomb crisis had stripped away pretense and revealed character, both his own willingness to sacrifice for others and her ability to see beyond species boundaries to individual worth. Then let's make history, he said, taking her primary hands in his own. Queen Zyrlith's touch felt warm despite her alien physiology, and Jake sensed energy flowing between them that hinted at the deeper connection their ceremony would create. Admiral Corthex looked up from his communication array. Your Majesty, first responses are arriving. Earth Command requests immediate confirmation. The Royal Council demands audience before any formal announcements. Grant audience to the Council, Queen Zyrlith decided. They will witness my commitment and understand its wisdom. Earth Command will receive full diplomatic briefing explaining strategic advantages of our alliance. Jake squeezed her hands gently. Ready to face the galaxy together? Queen Zyrlith's golden eyes blazed with determination that could reshape civilizations. With you beside me, human Jake Morrison, I am ready for anything. The command chamber hummed with crystal energy as two souls from different worlds prepared to bind their lives together and change the course of galactic history through courage, love, and unshakable alliance that no force in the universe could break. In the depths of space, aboard a ship powered by captured starlight, the future began.